Hi guys, welcome to Emma's class. We're going to do our first 15-minute mindful movement chair flow class today. So first, thank you for joining me. And second, find your body. Also, if you don't want to do this in a chair, you don't have to. You can do this laying down on your mat. You can also do it standing. So pick whatever works best for your body today. And then find your sit bones and really think about equally distributing your weight between them. So I tend to lean this way, which makes my left sit bone heavier and my right sit bone lighter and just throws me all out of whack and alignment. So I have to really think more about my right side and then distributing the weight between them. And then find your rib cage. Your rib cage should be stacked right on top of your pelvis, neutral spine, and we're just going to start with our breathing. So you're going to bring your hands to your ribs, let your shoulder blades kind of find that nice neutral position so they're not up too high and they're not down too low. And if you want, you can close your eyes and your mouth, and we're just going to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out the nose. And as you inhale, just kind of feel your rib cage expanding out into your hands. And then as you exhale, feel the rib cage closing down and in. So try it again. Take a deep inhale. Really think about the front, the back, and the sides of your rib cage. Kind of pressing your ribs out equally into the left and right hand. And then as you exhale, closing down and in. Just releasing your day. So try it again. Inhale. Find your gills. Really think about the muscles and feel the muscles between your ribs. We want those to be really active. And then exhale. Kind of closes in kind of like bellows. All right, one more this way. Deep breath in. Think about the rib cage expanding, getting to the lower lobes of your lungs. Your shoulder blades stay right in neutral. And then exhaling. Just softening. Nice. Okay, now we're going to change it up. The inhale is going to stay the same when we start here. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Now this time as you exhale, you're going to exhale out your mouth and you're going to set your core. So pelvic floor is going to lift a little bit, and then your transverse abdominis, which wraps around you right here like saran wrap, really engage your saran wrap. Now you're going to hold that, maintain that connection, and continue to inhale into the rib cage. And exhaling, see if you can sink your belly button a little bit deeper. Try it again. Inhale through the nose. And exhaling out your mouth. No parts of your body moved. You just engaged muscle or muscles. One more. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out your mouth. Nice. Now we're going to warm up the shoulders a little bit more. We're going to do our scap isolations. So again here, nothing is going to move. The only bones that are going to be moving here are your shoulder blades. So this takes a lot of awareness. So on your next inhale, glide your shoulder blades up towards your ears as if you were shrugging your shoulders without kind of rounding. Keep the clavicles spread really wide. And then with your exhale, you're going to pass through neutral and lower all the way down into the back pockets of your pants. So let's try it again. Watch out for your spine. It's going to be tempted to move, so try and avoid that. Inhale, lift the blades up, all the way up. Good. And then exhale all the way down. Try and get your blades to work simultaneously so the movement's happening at the same time. All right, one more this way. Inhale, lift all the way up. Really use the muscles around your shoulder blades, particularly at the bottom of your blades. And then exhaling down. The halfway point's neutral. Go all the way down into depression. Good. Now with your inhale, you're just going to lift your shoulders about halfway. Now we're halfway to neutral. So now you're going to float your arms up, and we're going to go through protraction and retraction. So this one's probably the most difficult of the two, especially since all the movement's happening in the back. And so it's good to kind of imagine like you have a little walnut or like a little lemon, something between your shoulder blades. So we're going to retract first without letting any other part of your body move. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine like you want to crack that little nut or squeeze the lemon. And now we're going to go the opposite direction. So you're going to abduct. Your shoulder blades are now going to glide around your rib cage. It's almost as if like there's strings on your fingers and I'm pulling those so your arms get really long. Nice. And if you were holding on to that nut, now it dropped, right? Because your shoulder blades are really far away from each other. All right, now we're going to go the other way. Squeeze your shoulder blades in without letting your torso move. You can inhale there. And then exhaling. It's almost as if someone's holding on to you, but you're going to reach forward. Nice. Now we're going to squeeze it in. Now that halfway point is neutral, so continue to fully retract. Squeeze that little nut. Good. And now we're going to go the other way. Think about that halfway position. Good. And then reach, reach, reach. Completely separate them. Now when you come back, you're going to go about halfway. So there's your neutral shoulder blade position. Now let's test it. So we're going to do some arm raises. So exhale, reset your core in case you lost it. Now with your inhale, can you float your arms overhead without losing that amazing neutral position you found with your shoulder blades? Now let's start to circle. So you're going to sweep your arms down by your side. You can exhale again. And then inhale, float your arms overhead. So it's like, can you move your arms without really moving your shoulder blades? Keep firing your serratus anterior. Inhale overhead. Exhale, big reach. One more this way. Inhale up through your center line. And exhaling down. Now this time you're going to start with your hands kind of hugging your hips. We're going to reverse it. So you're going to inhale, reach out to the T, then overhead, and then exhale, press, and really press. Press down, like imagine you're pressing on like springs or something really heavy. Good. Inhale up and over, big reach. Work from the roots of your arms, and exhaling, pressing down. All right, one more. Inhaling here, and exhaling down. Nice, you guys. Roll your shoulders back. We'll be practicing that a lot. All right, now we're going to warm up our spine. We're going to do flexion, extension, rotation, and lateral flexion. So lateral flexion is just a fancy way of saying side bending, but let's start with flexion. That's something we all are probably too good at, where we're in a forward kind of fold, capital letter C position. So imagine you have a wall behind you, and you're going to stack your whole body up against it. And then I'm going to turn profile. Because really, what you want to do is, this part here, your low back and your neck, they're actually not going to be touching the wall. So they're going to actually be a little bit curved away from the wall because they actually are concave. All right. And then actually, since I have you here, I want to practice kind of figuring out a little bit deeper what your neutral position is and your imprinted position. So here's your neutral, right? You're curving in. And then you're going to roll back off your sit bones and just round the low back. And then come right back on top your sit bones. So this movement is really small, but it's really precise, and it's really good to know where your pelvis is in space. Now, I want you to do it again, but this time I want you to think about your muscles doing it, so all core. And let's add the breath. So inhale, grow tall. Exhale, roll back off your sit bones. Lead with the low back. Now, this isn't about how far back you can go, because really I don't want from like your waist up, I don't want that to really change its shape. Just isolate the low back. Get it round. Good. Inhale, stay. And then exhale. Use your core to bring yourself back on top your sit bones. Nice. Let's try one more. Inhale to prepare. Exhale. Use your core. Round your low back. Really lead with the low back. Get it as round as you can. Let's hold for an inhale. Widen to the ribs. Find your gills. And then exhale all core to bring you forward. Nice. Now I'm going to turn back front and center to you guys. So we're going to peel our spine. We're going to practice peeling away from the wall sequentially. So we're going to kind of peel forward from our head to our tail, and then we're going to reverse that and stack back up tail to head. You can keep your arms at your side, or you can float your arms up. Just make sure your shoulder blades are neutral. All right, let's take a big deep breath in. With the little, with your inhale, you're just gonna do a little baby head nod as well. So inhale, lengthen and head nod, exhale. Peel away sequentially. So you're gonna round forward. You're going to distribute that curve all the way down your spine. Now, also here, the point isn't to like collapse and reach the floor. Quite the contrary. I would like you to stay really activated here and focus keeping your core connection instead of how far can you go. And then we're going to hold for an inhale. As you exhale, think about your sit bones. Think about your core. Use them. Press your sit bones down and then use your core to unfurl your spine. You're going to stack low back first, then your mid back, then your upper back, and then your head. So your head is the last thing that comes up. Sometimes, most of the time, it can be the first if you're not really thinking about it. That's why you're practicing this, because you're going to get really good at it. Okay, let's try it again. Inhale, grow tall and head nod. It's a baby head nod. Now you're done with your neck. Allow the rest of your curve to distribute through your thoracic. So that's like your mid to upper back. Rounding, rounding, rounding. Stay anchored in your pelvis. Hold for an inhale at the bottom. Avoid letting your breath go into your belly so you can keep your core connection. And then exhale, reverse that. You're going to stack back up, bone on top of bone, growing taller, creating lots of space between your vertebrae. Getting taller, doing that sequential movement. Head's the last thing that comes up. Nice job. Let's try it again. Inhale, lengthen and head nod. You can imagine you have like a little apple or orange here. So as you peel away from the wall, you're not jamming your chin into your chest. That space there actually remains exactly the same so that you're like not over flexing in your neck and your cervical spine. All right, hold for an inhale. Think about the back of your ribs and then exhale. This is all about your PF and your TA. Stacking, it's like you're putting on the brakes. You're going to use your core to flex your spine and to stack it back up to neutral. All right, nice job. Roll your shoulders back if you had your shoulders up or your arms up. All right, now to counter that pose, we're going to do a seated back bend. So make sure if you ever scooch like close to the edge of your seat that you don't scooch so close, like do a little test, do some movement so that you don't ever slip off your chair. I really do not want that to ever happen. All right, so find a good position. You're gonna lean your torso back just for like a little test and then come forward. Okay, and then find your neutral spine again, neutral pelvis. We're gonna do like a reverse head nod. You're gonna lift the chin. Now you're done with your neck, so you're not over extending there, and allow that chain, that curvature to distribute to the upper back and then your mid back. So this is a baby back bend, and you can use your hands. If you have a chair, hopefully your chair is nice and sturdy, and if you want, you can hold onto the sides for leverage, create a little resistance there to open up your heart center towards the sky. It's almost as if you had like a string here on your sternum that was reaching up towards the sky. Hold for some deep breaths. So typically with a back bend, when we're breathing, it's more challenging to keep the core connection. So here, really think about the ribs, lots of movement in the ribs. You keep compressing your abdominal compartment. Your belly stays toned. And then on your next exhale, think about the front side of your body to work, to pull you and stack your spine back up to neutral. So we're doing, again, sequential articulation of the spine, but we're doing it in a back bend here. All right, let's try it again. Lift the chin. That can be your inhale. Exhale. You're going to lift your heart center towards the sky. Try not to dump all the curve into your low back. And again, this is like a baby back bend. So really, depending on how flexible you are, you should be staying a little bit out of your low back. The curve is really more in like mid to upper back. All right, on your next exhale, think about the front of your body. So it's like your rib cage comes forward first, then your shoulders, and then your head. All right, let's speed it up a little bit if it feels okay. We're going to inhale, lift the chin and extend the spine. And then exhaling, coming back to neutral. Nice. All right. So we're halfway there. We've done flexion and extension. Now it's time to do some rotation. So if you'd like, you can bust out your ballerina arms, or you can keep your arms by your side or here, really whatever feels good for your shoulders. If you have your ballerina arms though, imagine you're hugging like a giant redwood tree and it's so big you can't get your arms around it. So you've created this like circle of energy and you're really engaging. You can kind of angle the elbows down, scoop out your armpits and find serratus anterior. Okay, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale. We're gonna baby twist to the right. We're gonna keep our weight equally distributed between our sit bones. We're going to inhale, grow tall like an upward spiraling staircase. And then exhale. Think about the opposite side of your body and your core to de-rotate and bring you back to center. All right, let's inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist to the left side now. Inhale, stay. Check in here. And then exhale, abs, 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 pelvic floor work to bring you back. Nice, let's try it again. Exhale, twist to the right. This time we're just going to inhale and come to center. Nice. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. It's a small movement, baby twist. And then inhale, use your core both directions. Nice. All right, float your arms down. All right, our last movement here is going to be our lateral flexion, our side bending. So we're going to inhale, float the right arm up and allow your shoulder blade to completely elevate. Then find the muscle underneath your shoulder blade and use that muscle to draw the shoulder blade down and plug it into neutral. All right, now we're going to inhale, lengthen like a water fountain shoots up. Then you're going to exhale and kind of pour yourself to the left side. Be mindful of your right sit bone. It will want to become lighter. So really think about anchoring that side of your body. Inhale here. And then exhale. Work your right side to stack you back up. Then we're going to float that arm down. Inhale, the left arm comes up. And again, you're going to allow the left shoulder blade. Let it lift all the way up. Then you're going to find your muscle right here, serratus, to draw it down. Make your muscles work there to get your shoulder blade into that nice neutral position. All right, then we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale. Now we're going to go to the right side. So now we're being really mindful of the left sit bone, and I can already tell I'm not really anchoring my left sit bone. So I'm going to readjust, inhale, stay, and then exhale, work the left side of your body to stack, 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 back up. Nice. All right, let's try it again. Right arm reaches, plug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, your teapot. You're going to pour yourself over. Keep your neck happy here. You can look down. Hold for that inhale. And then make the right side of your waist. Really contract this side as you exhale to stack back up. Nice. Flip that arm down. This is our last one on our sides here. Plug your blade in. Exhale. Let's just exhale here and set the core just to make sure we didn't get ahead of ourselves. We want to be really slow and controlled here and mindful. We don't need to rush it. Inhale, stay. Exhale, keep that left sit bone anchored. Inhale, stay. You can kind of think of that imaginary wall still behind you and you're just gliding up against it. Exhale, make the left side of your body work here. Contract here to pull you back up. Nice job, you guys. All right, we're getting a lot of good work in. So let's work the legs a little bit. We've done a lot of shoulder girdle. So now it's time to do some inner thighs. All right, so find a good position. Readjust yourself. Make sure you're right in the middle of your chair or your mat or whatever you're standing on. And then bring just like the flesh of your feet together. The flats of your feet are on the ground just to start. Bring your hands to the inside of your legs, kind of right above your knees. You don't really want to be on your knees. Try not to ever put pressure on your actual joints. You can be above or below. All right, and then we're going to create a little resistance here. So I want you to think about here. Your hands are pressing your legs out. but make your legs press in. So it's like your legs are not gonna allow for your hands to press them out. So really firing up that center line. And this is a great connection because most of the time we're working, you want to have that active midline. So this is a good way to kind of practice that. And now I do want you to allow your legs to open up. So allow your hands to press. You're still creating that resistance. And then on the way back, really fight it. Make your hands press into your legs and make your legs press into your hands. All right, let's add the breath. You're going to inhale, press out. Exhale, try and close your legs. It's also a good workout for the upper arms. So make sure you don't end up here. Still keep your collarbones really wide and try not to allow your shoulder blades to move. And if for some reason, if you ever get caught up on when to inhale and when to exhale, don't worry about it. That'll come later. For now, just make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. I don't want anyone to turn blue in the face. Nice. Try one more. Good. Really fight it to close it. Nice. So a lot of times too, we're working in parallel. So let's just do a little medial rotation. This is actually going to feel like a really good stretch right here too. So allow your knees to go in towards each other, and then you can kind of heel toe your feet out to wherever feels good for you, because just keep them happy down there. Really focus here on the stretch. And if you want to kind of go side to side, you can do that too. Think about like the knee kind of putting down towards the earth. And then you can do the opposite side. And if you want, you can even extend it further back to a lunge position. But work in your range. Do what works best for your body. So the medial rotation, and go to the opposite side. All right, now we're just going to cool down and do a nice little quickie hamstring stretch. So this is like Dandasana. If you're looking at your self profile, you're in like a giant capital letter L. Think about your sit bones here. Spine is going to stay straight, and then you're going to hinge forward. Your hands kind of slide down to wherever they can. And try not to round your back for as long as you can. But when you get to a point where like you've hinged so far and you can't, then allow your back to round. Your hands glide down. Shake your head no. And then yes. And then no. I'm going to slowly walk our hands up first. Try to stay round. And then use your core to articulate sequentially. So remember we did that flexion earlier. So you come up bone by bone. Head's the last thing that comes up. Now let's get a nice long body stretch. So scooch back in your seat. Extend your legs. You're going to float your arms overhead. And this is just, I don't really care about your form here. I know, you're like, you can't believe it. But this is really just about being open and free and stretching. Reach your fingers from your toes and your toes from your fingers. You can flex and point your feet here too. You can roll your ankles out. Ooh, it has some good cracking. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And you're getting a back bend here too. So nice big stretch, nice arching of the back. And then slowly bring yourself back to a seated position, or whatever position that you started in. And I just want to thank you guys for working out with me today. It was an honor, and hope to see you soon.